Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today in turning effect of forces, we are going to discuss equilibrium. Now, in equilibrium, we are going to discuss define equilibrium, classification of types of equilibrium, and conditions of equilibrium, and explain different conditions of equilibrium with examples. So first is the definition, what is equilibrium. Now when two or more than two forces act on the body, means that many forces are acting on a body, and uh, the resultant or combined effect of all the forces acting on a body is zero. Then the body either retains its state of rest or of uniform motion. Then the body is said to be in equilibrium. Uh, for instance, you can see in this diagram, you can see these two bodies are in equilibrium. The upward force balances the downward force, and your horizontal forces are all balanced, and upward and downward forces are balanced. A body is said to be in equilibrium when no net force act on that body. The same in Newton's first law of motion, which states that the state of rest or of motion in a straight line. Uh, a body continues its state of rest or of motion in a straight line if no resultant or net force act on it. For example, a book lying on the table or a picture hanging on the wall. All are the example of equilibrium because under the influence of the forces they are at rest. And in case of the moving object, the object that is moving with a constant velocity, or they are moving with a uniform motion, are the example of equilibrium. They under the influences of the forces, they maintains their uniform motion. So this is again an equilibrium is equilibrium. They are said to be in equilibrium. Or in other words, if the linear and angular acceleration of the body are zero, the body is said to be in equilibrium. So what are the types of equilibrium? With respect to the state of a body, equilibrium is divided into two categories: static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. As the name um, stat, uh, static equilibrium means the object is stationary or at rest. You can see that this person, uh, the upward force, the downward force is the weight of that person, that is balanced by the normal reaction force of the ground. So the two forces are equal and opposite in direction, and their algebraic sum is zero. uh, so we say that net force on it is zero. So this is the your static equilibrium. Now, in the dynamic equilibrium, the example is paratrooper. He is coming down. There are many forces acting on a body: the force of gravity, the air resistance, acting on the this person. And under the influence of this force, it maintains its state of uniform motion. So again, this object, this paratrooper is said to be in the state of dynamic equilibrium. Now, a few examples. What is the static equilibrium definition? When two or more than two forces act on a body such that their resultant and combine or combining effect on the body is zero, the body is in the state of rest, then its equilibrium is termed as static equilibrium. For example, or the stationary bodies. And in this figure, you can see that the books are lying on the table, they are stationary. The weight of the book is balanced by the normal reaction given by the table. The chair is balanced, the weight of the chair is or the table is acting downward. It is supported as by the normal reaction of the ground. So both are equal and opposite in direction, and they are under the influence of the forces. There no net force on it, and they are stationary. They are at rest. So we say this is your static equilibrium. The body In a static equilibrium, the body must be in translational equilibrium, means it should not be moving, and the body does not accelerate along any line. If the acceleration is zero, then the resultant of the forces acting on the body is also zero. So the few more examples you can see, uh, signal light that is maybe hanging by the help of two rope or with the help of one rope. In either cases, under the influence of the many forces, the weight, the tension in the rope, the body is at rest, and there the forces, the algebraic sum of forces acting on that is zero. So what is then the dynamic equilibrium definition? When a body is in the state of uniform motion and the resultant of all the forces acting upon it zero, then it is said to be in dynamic equilibrium. Uh, or if forces acting on a body horizontally or vertically uh, are acting on the body horizontally and vertically, and the body retains its state of motion, then it is called dynamic equilibrium. For example, a parachute, a jump by using a parachute, and train moving with a uniform velocity, or a road or a car moving on a level road with a uniform velocity is said to be in dynamic equilibrium, because under the influence of the forces, the net force is zero, and the body is retains its state of motion. You can see when the skydiver jumps, its drag or air resistance is more than the weight of the person, as it and its speed slows down and is slowly moved down. Then these two uh, get balanced. The upward force, that is the drag resistance force, is equal to the downward force of the weight. Then the paratrooper moves with the uniform velocity and the forces are balanced, and it reaches, this is called the terminal velocity, that is the constant velocity. So we say it is your dynamic equilibrium. Now what are the conditions for a body to be in equilibrium? So there are we have already in the above example, we have already learned that body at rest or in uniform motion is in equilibrium if the resultant force acting on it zero. So for the body in equilibrium, it must satisfy certain conditions, and there are two conditions they must satisfy. The first condition of equilibrium, it states that a body satisfies the first condition of equilibrium if the resultant of all the forces acting on it zero. So in this you can see that upward force is equal to the all the vertical forces are equal, and similarly all the horizontal forces are equal, and we can write that the sum of all the forces acting on a body is zero, and we use sigma, a Greek letter for the summation. So sigma f is equal to 0. We can also express in term of horizontal and vertical component that all the horizontal forces acting on is 0. The sum of all the horizontal forces sigma x is equal to 0, and sum of all the vertical forces, that is sigma y, is also 0. So we can say total sigma f is equal to or acting on the body is zero. So this is the first condition of equilibrium, that algebraic sum of all the forces acting on the body must be equal to zero. You can see that all the forces, the acting on the body, the applied force, the resistance force uh, is equal to the net force is equal to zero, and the body is moving with the constant velocity. For few more examples of the condition of first condition of equilibrium, a book lying on a table, a picture hanging on a wall at rest, and thus satisfies first condition of equilibrium. A paratrooper coming down with the terminal velocity also satisfies the first condition for equilibrium, that all the forces acting on the paratrooper is equal to zero. This is the first example. You see that chandelier is hanging from the ceiling, uh, and there is a tension in the cord, and this chandelier weight is given by W, and the mass of this chandelier is 3 kilogram. So we need to find the tension that is in the cord. Since it is satisfying the first condition of equilibrium, that sum of all forces acting on this is zero, the weight must be equal to the tension. In this case, we say tension minus W must be equal to zero, or we can say tension is equal to weight, and we know that the formula of weight is equal to mg. Mass is 3 kilogram given, and g, acceleration due to gravity, is constant, that is 10. So 3 into 10 is equal to 30 newtons. So the tension in this cord is equal to 30 newton. Another example, you see that this frame is hanging from the wall, from the ceiling. The weight of this frame is 55 Newton. If it is at rest, so we can say the sigma F is equal to 0, means uh, uh, tension minus 55, because they are in opposite direction, is equal to 0. So tension is equal to 55 Newton. Now, what is the second condition of equilibrium? If the body is not in equilibrium, although the first condition is for the equilibrium is still satisfied. It is because you can see that in this figure, the body is satisfying the first condition of equilibrium. This force is equal to this force. These are two opposite parallel forces, and the algebraic sum of these forces is zero. So the first condition of equilibrium is satisfied. But the body has a tendency to rotate. Now you can see that if there is a force over here and force over here, this is satisfying first condition, but it will start moving in anti-clockwise direction. Now, uh, so means that this situation demands another condition in addition to the first one. So according to this, a body must satisfy the second condition of equilibrium, and it states that all the torques acting, all the moments acting on this object is zero. So mathematically, we say sum of all the torques and the object is zero, or this is another example. If it is maintaining its horizontal position, it means the sum of all the torque is equal to zero, or we can say the sum of clockwise movement is equal to the sum of counterclockwise movement, or the all the torque of zero. Some example of the second condition is the force applying on the steering wheel of the car, the force on the Tommy bars, and couple or children playing on the seesaw. These are all the example of second condition of equilibrium. And now here we are going to solve a problem related to that. A 120 Newton child and a 200 Newton child sits at the opposite end of 4 meter uniform seesaw pivoted at its center. Now this is the free body diagram. You can see that this is the 120 Newton child and this is 200 Newton child. Both are sitting at the end of 4 meter uniform seesaw, and it is pivoted at the center, means that this is the axis of rotation, 2 meter on this side and 2 meter on this side. So both the moments arms are equal. Now, if I will calculate the torque on this side, that will be 120 into 2, that is 240, and over here it is 2 into 200, that is 400. So this seesaw is not in equilibrium. This 400 weight side will move down and this will move up. So in order to bring it in equilibrium, a 140 Newton child sits on it. So where he should sit, at what distance from the pivot he should sit, just to maintain the conditions of equilibrium. That is the second condition of equilibrium. Now we know that sigma tau is equal to 0. That is the sum of anti-clockwise tau is equal to the sum of clockwise tau. Now anti-clockwise tau in this case is 120 and 40, and D is representing the moments arm, and all the moments arm for any force is always measured from its axis of rotation. So I can say 1 F1 is 120 multiplied by 2 plus F2 is 140 multiplied by X, and this is your anti-clockwise torque, and it must equal the clockwise torque, that is equal to F3 into 2. So all we are going to put the values in the equation. So F1 is 120, its moment arm is 2 plus 140, and its moment arm we need to calculate. Now if FD is taken to this side, that will be minus F3 is 200 into D3, that is equal to again 200. So if you calculate this, you will get the result that X is value is 1.14 meter. It means that the person 140 Newton child must sit at a distance of 1.14 meter from axis of rotation in order to maintain the uh, uh, seesaw horizontally in equilibrium. So this is all for today's lecture, and we are going to meet again in the next lecture, inshallah. Allah Hafiz till then.